Welcome back to the Her Hoopstat podcast. I am back with my friend, Cindy Brunson. Cindy, how are you?
I am so thrilled to be working with the producer extraordinaire slash host, BMac.
Yeah, I have a lot of titles now.
Yes, you do. That's because you can do it all.
Oh. Hey, fake it till you make it.
That's it. I love it. But there's no faking it when it comes to you. You are legit.
Thank you. But I want to start off this episode with something that you actually just right before we came on jogged into my memory. It
Ooh.
was announced just a day or two ago, I believe,
Mhm.
that Diana Taurasi will be getting her jersey retired by the Phoenix
Yes.
Mercury about midway through the hopefully soon WNBA season. Um,
As my shirt for everybody watching on the YouTube, pay us what you owe us. Yeah, I saw that vote where 84% of fans are behind the players. I am among that 84%, 10 toes down. I am happy to wait to buy merch or tickets and or all of the above until the players who are the product get what they deserve. So, yeah, that's where I stand. In August is when the GOAT, Diana Taurasi, is supposed to be celebrated and inducted into the Ring of Honor for her Phoenix Mercury. So that'll be cool. It'll be awesome to see.
yeah, it's very much deserved. I mean, I always go back. I saw her play in college, and
Hmm.
when the Final Four was here in New Orleans, I think in 2004.
Right.
But my favorite game, seeing her live, was a game that actually upset that they won, but it was her not her rookie season, but her second season with Phoenix. They played in Houston, and your co-host on the
Ooh,
at the Athletes Unlimited
yes.
program, she could not. Just got Defensive Player of the year before, and she could
Hmm.
not find a way to stop Taurasi. And I think
Yep.
the game went into triple overtime, and Taurasi had like
Mm,
40 something points, and it was
yeah.
just, something that I'll never forget just being there live and experiencing that.
Yeah. I want to say 41. Yeah.
Yeah.
DT was special. And I feel bad for her because she was just born too early, right? If she could have gotten the recognition that the players get today, oh my goodness, or the NIL, like, woo, baby, because she was that seismic, game changing, generational player. And she just doesn't get her flowers, in my opinion, because we just didn't have the bandwidth that we do today. And not that it's great, but it's a marked improvement over what it was in Diana's day. So, when people think they know Diana based on the last 3 or 4 years of her WNBA career, that's not even close. If you can just encapsulate that 17 points that she dropped in that 3rd quarter to go ahead and get past 10,000 career, that was her consistently night in and night out as soon as she left UConn and went into the W.
Well, since I brought up Athletes Unlimited, and for the people who are not listening, I know Cindy might get a little nervous when she sees me do this, but I'm
Uh-oh.
not stripping. I do have clothes on underneath, but I wanted
Uh-oh,
to come
uh-oh.
correct.
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
Yes,
I wanted to be
feedback.
correct for the episode. I wanted to get right. So,
Nice.
I want
Okay.
you to tell the viewers, the listeners, because you were boots on the ground there
Mm,
in Nashville for this whole season, which
yep.
was, I think, your 6th season
5th.
with them?
It's the
5th,
5th
okay,
season
I
of
know it was
AU.
5th
Yep.
season, alright. Give us your overall experience from this past season.
It's such a cool deal, right? Because a player can win individually, but you also win as a team. What I really like for the players' experience in particular is they get a chance to lead and be captains and change teams and learn how to play different styles, to play against one another, with one another,
Mhm.
and I think on the whole, they grow as players. You can see the development happen from day 1, game 1, until we crown a champion at the end of 4 weeks. And there's no better example of that Then Odyssey Sims, our most recent champion. She has been on the podium as a medalist 3 previous seasons. And because of that taste that she had, she understood, all right, I understand the leaderboard. I know what I am as a player, but what am I as a leader? What am I as a captain? How can I make sure I put the right players around me to chase this chip that so far has eluded me? And that's exactly what she did. And it was so awesome. BMac, when I tell you, Odyssey gives the best hugs on the planet. The one I received post game after she finally got the medal of being a champion around her neck, and they gave her this really cool goat necklace as well, all blinged out. It was just so amazing. And I was so thrilled for her. But I'm sure she would tell you herself, it's been a process. She's had to learn how to deal with what Athletes Unlimited is, because it's not just about a singular player, right?
Mhm.
It's about good basketball plays being rewarded, bad basketball plays being dinged, and most ultimately, winning quarters and winning games. It rewards greatness.
Mm.
And we saw that this season with Sims.
Uh, Odyssey, I mean, I was just kinda reading an article on her, her transition throughout Athletes Unlimited. I guess
Mhm.
she finished in 6th place in the standings in 2022,
Right?
um, 3rd in 2023, and then
Mhm.
runner-up the last 2 seasons. That's just
Yeah.
a remarkable run, and
Yes, 100%. That's why she's the GOAT. And in 2023, it was an injury that kept her from winning it all. She tweaked an ankle, had some sort of foot issue like a quarter into the championship game. And then Alyssa Smith just lit up like a Christmas tree. She scored 50 points, all via twos. She didn't have the three ball in her bag at that time. And yeah, and ones. And Jordan Canada had 17 assists. A lot of those assists went to Liz. And that was the first 50 burger I've ever called. And it's the only one I've called so far in my career. And oh, what a night. But that's the kind of Herculean effort it took to take Odyssey out of that top spot, even though she couldn't help her own cause because she was on the sidelines injured.
yeah. Joining her on the medal stand, in 2nd
Mhm.
place, Anissa Moreau.
Oh, Niece the Beast, my new freaking favorite player in the history of everything. When I tell you, you watch her, BMac, she grabs you by the shirt collar. You can't help but watch. She has got this rebounding mentality where
Yes.
she has to have the basketball. It's as if her ability to breathe depends on getting that rebound. And then she just added to her bag week in and week out. She added the three ball. She hit
Mm.
more 3-point baskets than Odyssey Sims did on the circuit. It was mind boggling. And like it was nothing, like she was shooting lanes. Like this is, oh yeah, I wanted to fold this into my bag and now it's here, right here at the bottom of my Birkin. Watch me. It was awesome.
In the 3rd place on the medalist stand, we had a relative newcomer, Rebecca
Mhm.
Gardner, who
Yes. We
who
have
I
19
loved.
newbies.
I talked to you about when Athletes Unlimited first started, and she came out just like gangbusters. So it was nice to see
Yes.
her get to that point.
Oh, 100%. She was one of 19 newbies along with Niece the Beast that we had on the circuit this season, and what a tremendous player. Here's the deal. Every season, I ask the Hall of Famer Cheryl Swoops, which player this season reminds you most of you? And she said, without a doubt, Rebecca Gardner. And we all know her story, right? She leaves UCLA. She looks like she's ready for the W, couldn't get a nibble, played in Europe for years. And then, as a 31-year-old rookie in the league, wins Rookie of the Year. Like she is just built like that and has the want to and the get after it and the attitude that you want your favorite player to have. And she was just a revelation. And she can score in so many different ways. And she is a menace on the defensive end.
Yes, rounding out the medalist stand in 4th
Mhm.
place, we have the timeless wonder, Tina Charles.
When I tell you what a remarkable player she was off floor, I was more impressed with that because when Tina signed up, we knew what we were getting, right? second leading scorer all time in WNBA history, top rebounder, all of the things, gold medalists, you name it. She has done it, winning national championships in college, of course, still chasing that so far elusive WNBA championship. But we knew she's a walking double double. She could score in a variety of ways. We're waiting for the baby hook, all of the things. What I enjoyed most about her is the joy that she played with and the absolute enthusiasm she had for bringing the next generation on, right? For
Mhm.
helping Niece, for helping Natasha Mack. It was so cool to see. And her, one of my favorite chats we had with her during the season was about what she was doing off the floor. She was taking her team to wine tasting. They had a little paint and sip deal. She took them to Top Golf. It was all about being a great basketball citizen off the floor. And for my money, proving to every single general manager out there in the W that yes, she will have a high free agent price tag as a veteran, but she will be worth every single penny.
Absolutely, and I've said for years now, I think Tina would be a great coach one day. I think she's gonna be the
Oh,
type that
yeah.
I could see her doing what Sylvia Fowles will do this year in Portland, where she'll
Yes.
come in and work with the post players and just be like you said, she's already a mentor, so just
Hmm.
be that for the next group coming up.
Yeah. Tina in the last few years has been a revelation because remember, there was that year where she was away from the game.
Yes.
And she thought she was retired. Like, she told reporters in Atlanta before she started hooping again that she thought she was done. And so she has an increased appreciation for being able to still hoop the way she wants to and play her game. And it's just so beautiful to see.
Well, the defensive player of the year this year in Athletes Unlimited with the league leading 3 blocks a game and 13.2 rebounds, Natasha Mack.
She averaged a double double. I saw so much from her on the offensive end, in addition to that massive 6'11 wingspan that we all know she brought to the league from Oklahoma State. She is so much better offensively than she ever even got to show with Phoenix. Her nickname is Mac Truck,
Yeah.
and she dominated on the defensive end for AU, but again, showed so many offensive little little moves, little jukes, little floaters. She also had this lovely high post move where she became one of the best post passers we had in the league, second only to Tina Charles, in my opinion. So it was just an awesome display. And this is what I love about Athletes Unlimited because, yes, there's structure. Yes, there are teams, but at times it's almost like you're playing pickup and 5 on 5. And what does Don Staley always say? Pickup is where you get to try out things and get really good against
Yeah.
good competition. And I saw Natasha Mack do that. And when I tell you, it was such a treat to finally talk about her on TV again. I was in heaven with Natasha Mack.
Newcomer of the year, just a breakout performance in her first year within
Mhm.
AU,
Yep.
Caitlin Chin.
I tell you what, she took that league, grabbed it by the shirt collar, and said, I am here. For 3 weeks, she had the highest scoring game on the circuit with 32 points. She showed off so much offensive prowess, leadership by being a captain, as well as ability to assist. Like we saw it in glimpses with the Valkyries, but it was her show, right? She didn't have to share the point guard responsibilities. It was usually her PG1 on every team she was on. And man, and she was a sponge too. I watched her watching Jalen Sherrod and Odyssey Sims and Alicia Clark. She was just taking in all of these little tidbits and tricks and all of this. All of a sudden, I see her driving the paint. She's got the floater like Skylar Diggins. I was like, oh, okay, that's nice. I didn't see that in the W. Like, it was so awesome to see her grow and just a delight to be around and so fun to watch. And she's just kind of like her and Tina Charles one day dominated, right? And they do the post game interview together and they're all, well, bleed blue, duh. I mean, it was just it was like, okay, so a player like her coming off a really successful rookie season now gets to go into, her second year in the W with so much more
Yes.
confidence as a result. And I think that is one of the biggest benefits of Athletes Unlimited. Our second year in Nashville, Tennessee was just a bonus. We set all kinds of records with attendance and all of the things. So I just am so happy to be a part of AU and to be a day one, 10 toes down type with the league. It's been a huge part of my broadcasting play by play journey, and I'm just so grateful.
I want to get your thoughts on just this last award, and it goes to a young lady that I've met a few times through Debbie Antonelli,
Hmm.
because she's been a part of our 24 hours of nothing but net that you know serves the special education, special needs
Hmm.
children. J.C. Sheldon got the Impact
Yeah.
Award.
Yeah, our impact award is who's out in the community doing the most, helping, giving back, making sure that Athletes Unlimited leans into its causes. Every player plays for themselves and a cause, and part of whatever money they win at the end of the season, if they are a medalist, also goes to that cause. And JC just stepped up and stepped into that humanitarian piece like it was her job. She was there for that more than basketball, and she shined on the floor. Do not get it twisted. But her big civic heart was just on display, and it was really cool to see it get rewarded at this season's end.
Well, at this point in the show, I want to be transparent with the viewers and the listeners. We are taping this the day before it will come out. It's going to come out Thursday morning, and we are
Mhm.
taping this just after the Big Ten showdown between Indiana and Nebraska, which
Woo.
saw Indiana possibly ruin Nebraska's chances of making it to the NCAA tournament. I mean, things still have to play out, but
Yep.
they were on the bubble coming into the game in the Big Ten tournament, and it was a heck of a game. Indiana made a big comeback, and Shea Chesky, just showed completely out.
Mhm.
But what I want to do now with you is go just through the Power Four conferences and
Okay.
pick a team not in those top four that we could see making a run in in their conference tournaments.
Okay.
And I want to start obviously because you know me, I love symmetry, and I love just going just keeping things in a chronological order. So I'm going to start with
Sure.
the ACC,
Okay.
and because you are one of my favorite people, and you are the lady of the hour, we're gonna let the ladies go first, and give me your team from the ACC that you believe could make a run in the ACC tournament.
I'm gonna go with North Carolina. I think getting Duke at the end of the regular season is a lift that is going to carry that team, and I can't wait to see how it plays out.
Yeah, I agree. That's gonna be one that they infuriate me because I've been around Debbie too long, and I
Yep.
love offense, and every single one of their game is in the 40s and 50s, and it just,
Mhm.
uh, but yes, they are a team that defense and rebounds is what keeps you in games, and
Rebounds are possessions. If you
yes.
can rebound the basketball and out rebound your opponent 9 times out of 10, you are doing yourself a favor and you are gonna walk away with a dub.
I'm gonna pick a team from the ACC that's on a little bit of a run here recently. They've won their last 5 games in the regular season and 7 of the last 8,
Ooh.
and that is Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Ha
Yeah. Okay. You
Hannah
can't go wrong with
Hidalgo,
Hannah Hidalgo, I'll give
hey,
you that.
listen, at 25 points a game and 5.5 steals, I mean,
Mm.
she is just like I bring up I tell people all the time, I bring up Debbie on this podcast every single day, every
Yep.
single time I'm on, but, uh, just the other day, we interviewed her, and that interview will actually come out tomorrow.
Okay.
And I told her before we got started recording that she had one of those games that it make you jump out your seat games. and
Yes, yes, you're on the edge of your seat. There's a good chance you're gonna spill your wine or beer or drop your popcorn, all of the things. I love watching that young woman play. What I really appreciate with those 5.5 steals, she physically herself turns that into 10 to 15 points. Live ball turnovers, scoop, and score with an and one opportunity with the defender trying to chase her speedy little behind down the floor. So, yeah, she's fun. She is like Debbie says, a ticket selling player. Yeah,
yes.
Anna is her.
Yeah, they will take on Miami, who beat Stanford earlier today in
Mhm.
an overtime win. It was
Yep.
a very close game. And let me see, who does North Carolina play tomorrow? I know this is a bad pod. Oh no, they don't play. They don't play till Friday. Excuse me.
Right.
Yeah,
They
they
got
got
the
the
double
double bye.
bye.
Yeah,
Yep.
yes, very good. All right, let's switch it to our next conference, the
Mhm.
Big Ten. Who out of the
Okay.
Big Ten do you believe can make a run?
Okay. So in the Big Ten, I think it is UCLA's to
Me too.
lose, right?
Yes, yes,
That being said, I love Maryland. Oh my goodness. I
yes.
had them live a couple weeks ago. I did not appreciate how long that team is in person. There is length for days. And if Yarden Garzon decides to be on one, right?
Mhm.
Watch out because she's got that WNBA body. She could shoot the three. She rebounds. She gets in passing lanes. I really like Brenda Freeze's team.
And Brenda Freeze is not one to be messed with anyway. I mean, she
Mm-mm.
can come up with a game plan in a hurry.
Listen, she can X and O you to death, especially out of ATOs. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I am going to pick the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Ooh. I
Once
don't hate
again,
that.
like my Notre Dame pick, I'm picking them mainly because of Jelani Cambridge and
Yes.
just one of those another player that get you out your seat at any moment.
Hmm. You know
Averaging
my
23
comp for
points.
Jelani? Kennedy Carter,
Absolutely.
right?
Yes. There's so much similarities right there. Yes.
Hmm.
But what I was looking at the stats, because stats just don't lie.
Nope.
She has gotten to the free throw line 156 times this year. That means she's taking it in there and she knows how to get and use her body and get fouled. And that's
Hmm.
that's something that you can really lean on in a tournament setting like this when you're playing day after day after day. You
Yes.
know,
And that's
um,
something that will help you at the next level. That's all Odyssey Sims did at AU. She led the circuit in free throws made and
yep.
taken.
Yeah, and she has a running partner in Chance Gray who can
Mm.
just light it up from the 3-point line.
When
71
she
three-pointers made
goes
on
on a heater,
lights it up.
watch out.
And, sorry, Debbie, if you're listening,
Mm.
um, I have to talk about the defense. They're
Yep.
averaging scoring wise, they're averaging 83 points a game. They are only giving up 66 points a game this season,
That's tough.
and that serves
You know
you
why? Because 'Cause
well.
they've got so much team speed and they play
Yeah,
those gaps really well.
and
Every
that kind of thing.
defender is like a defender and a half because of the way they are able to move laterally and north and south. Like, they just fill up space.
Absolutely, and that and defense and rebounding is I keep saying it's what brings you places in tournament settings like
Mhm,
this. And
mhm.
yeah, so Ohio State, my team.
Okay.
Um, Big 12, the LED court with no half court line.
No half court line. Oh my gosh. How do I know if my seats are really good if I can't see the line of demarcation splitting the 94 feet in half? Hello? And then because of the glass floor, those luxury seats courtside that are
Mhm.
not cheap, you can't have a cocktail there. My day would be ruined. What do you mean I can't have an adult beverage when I have paid this much money to sit this close and not try to see? That would not end well for anybody around me.
I
Like, I would be, hey, I have a lid. I'll use a straw. Trust me, I got this.
I
But
saw your tweet.
all of that aside, I hope people like the court and that
Yes.
it works. I'm very curious to see the reaction from the players on how it plays because it's not going to feel like a hardwood floor, right? And it
Right.
for sure is not going to give like one when a player falls or goes down hard.
No.
I think that glass, that tempered glass, would be very unforgiving. So I'm just kind of curious to see all of that. But out of the Big 12,
Mm,
okay, TCU's to lose, just like we said with Big 10 and UCLA.
correct.
But
Yes.
I would like to see Talia Scott go on a heater for Baylor. I'd like
Oh,
to
yeah.
see Baylor kind of tear it up because they're capable, right? We saw that
Yeah.
at the beginning of the season. They've just kind of been out of sorts and just not quite themselves of late. But if they can find it, and especially if Scott can, because she's one of those ticket selling players, I like them.
I have 2 teams because I could
Ooh,
not
who you
make
got?
myself pick just one.
Okay.
And one, the easy one is Iowa
Uh-huh.
State. Addie Brown's
Oh,
back.
with a healthy Addie
They
Brown, yes,
yes, they
yes.
are picking
Ooh,
it
can I
up.
change my vote? Yeah,
You
I wanna
can.
go Iowa State. I do wanna go Iowa State because a healthy I forgot about Addie Brown because she's been on the back burner all season long. But yeah, now that she's healthy, that gives them a dynamic that they
Yeah.
just haven't had. And listen, the godfather, Bill Fennelly, lives for this tournament, and Iowa State attends it so well, it's like the Cyclones are at home. So, yeah, Iowa State could really be super sneaky. Ooh, who's your second team?
Well, yeah, so my second team is a team of just complete balance, and that's
Okay.
Colorado. Colorado has 5
Love
players that
J.R. Payne and what she's doing. I had those guys like 3 weeks ago. They
yes,
totally look like an NCAA tournament team. Again, like Maryland, the length of that team does not appear on regular TV, but
no.
when you see them in person, oh my goodness. So much
Yeah,
balance, so
they
much
don't
length.
have they don't have anybody that's just scoring 30 points a game, but they
No, no,
have
no, it's death by a
5.
thousand cuts,
Yeah,
and that's perfect for tournament time because
absolutely.
you don't go to one person for your offense. If one person gets cut off, that's okay because player B, C, and D got you. And they're all capable. They can all shoot the three. Yeah. And congratulations to JR. She just got a contract extension through 3031. 5 straight 20-win seasons. I love Coach Payne and what she's doing with the Buffs.
Only giving up 61 points a game,
Yeah.
and and once again, I bring up Debbie. This is
Yeah,
it's
well, listen,
ridiculous,
that's
but
her assistant, right? Her husband, Toriano Towns, he's the defensive coordinator.
yeah,
So, when they defend within an inch of of their lives, it's because he has been on them, like, "This is what we do. This is Colorado basketball."
yeah, you bring up her husband. I love because I've seen them live a couple of times
Mhm.
throughout the years, and he's the defensive coordinator, like you just said, because when they're on defense, that sweat is coming down that bald head, and
And he's in
he
a
gonna
defensive stance on the sideline. Oh my gosh, yes. I wanted to track his steps, like, put a pedometer on him just to see, because he does. He lives and breathes every defensive possession. It's wild.
Well, she was on Debbie's podcast, just our latest episode before Hannah Hidalgo one that's coming out tomorrow. She was
Yep.
on our latest one, and she talked and JR that is she talked about defense and rebounding and how
Mhm.
important that was to them in their
Yep.
program. And when you have that type of mindset, I mean, we've said it multiple times already on this podcast. I mean, that serves you well.
Mhm. Well, and shout out to her and any coach through the transfer portal era that we're in, that can still have their culture
Yes.
with all of the changes. You know, she had 11 new players this year, but you would never know it because it's still Colorado basketball.
All right. Our last conference that we're gonna talk about today, let's go with the SEC. Who you got from the
Mm.
SEC?
Well, this is not breaking news or, ooh, I'm choosing an underdog, but I would love to see Vanderbilt
Yes.
win the SEC tournament. I have a complete love affair with that backcourt of Galvin and Blake's,
Yeah.
and Michaela Blake's is just incredible. I mean, leading the nation in scoring. She's doing it in the toughest conference, arguably, in the country. She's doing it while she's the top of everybody's scout, and she's doing it like it's kind of easy. And and that is so scary. She just reminds me of the other National Player of the Year folks that we have seen go through the turnstiles, whether it's
Mhm,
Caitlin Clark or Paige Beckers, Juju Watkins, like, just that a player that kind of has this gravitational pull and kinda vibrates on the floor as they
mhm.
play, they're so special.
Yep.
It just and what Shea Ralph has, she's just created UConn South. I mean, you watch that team, and when she makes a substitution, she does it like the coach she played for, Gino Ariema. You just don't lose anything when she goes to the bench. And I was able to be in close proximity to their practices in Nashville. They
Mhm.
practice harder than the games are. They do it just like UConn does, where the game is kind of easy for the players. And I love what the Commodores are doing, and I wanna see them shock the world.
If you go and look on my social media, I think most of my tweets recently are just because I've fallen in love with Blake's and Galvin. That backcourt is just
Yes. Yes, it's just they go together. Like, for me, when there's chemistry like that, it's just cornflakes and milk, peanut butter and jelly, like, they were supposed to be together,
together.
and
Yeah.
now the hope is they stay together, right? I'm pretty sure Blake's she committed to be at Vanderbilt following a loss to Tennessee.
Yep.
Like, she wanted to be the face and part of the reason why the script gets flipped for what's going on in Nashville, right, with Vanderbilt. So she was 10 toes down. Galvin is new to this, and I hope that she stays true to it, right? Because her phone is gonna ring off the hook as soon as the transfer portal opens the day after we crown an NCAA women's basketball champion here in Phoenix. So I'm just like I hope for that core at Michigan can stay together, like these young sophomore sensations.
Yep.
I want these young women to stay together if at all possible, because that's when the real special build starts, right?
Yes.
We see it at UConn with Sarah Strong and AZ Fudd being able to play together again. And for all of those in my comments about Sarah Strong being National Player of the Year, I get it. If I was starting a WNBA team, I would want Sarah. Like, she would be my first pick, and I wouldn't even have to think about it. But it's different when you look at National Player of the Year, because Sarah is not at the top of the scout because UConn now has so many weapons, and she gets to pick and choose when she has to step up and cinch up that cape. Michaela Blakes has no option. She has to have a tremendous effort every single night for her team to have success. There is no margin for error for Blakes. And even though teams are hunting her and double teaming her and triple teaming her, she's still eating at a lead the country pace. And that is what elevates her, in my opinion, to National Player of the Year.
I agree with everything you just said. And my team actually, since they lost to your Vanderbilt Commodores in early
Mhm.
February, they have won 6 games in a row.
Uh-oh.
Have Are averaging 87 points a game and right around and giving up 67 on
Ooh,
defense.
I'm sensing Harmon Booker, is that what you're going with this?
You would think, but we're going the opposite of them because this team
Okay.
has 5 double-figure scores, and that is who you just said, they're our rival, the Oklahoma
Ooh,
Sooners.
okay,
I
okay,
just I'm loving what I'm seeing from them recently. I think
okay.
they're starting to do more of what I've been preaching about all season long that they need to do, and that's play
Uh-huh.
to and through Reagan Beers.
Amen. Yep,
Aaliyah Chavez is gonna get hers. Peyton
yep,
Verhulst is right there to knock down every shot. Zaya Van gets all the dirty work. I mean,
mhm,
Sahara Williams in the
yep,
post, just cleaning up all the glass work.
yep,
They have a team that I could see make a run, and I mean, they're right outside the top 4. They're the 5th team going in, but
yep.
regardless, they're there's a team that I could see make themselves a little bit of a run in the SC tournament and really turn some heads going into the NCAAs.
Yeah, the SEC is just so tough. I'm very curious to see how Oklahoma responds to the pressure of the tournament.
Yeah.
There's a couple teams that are just built different, and I would say Texas just because of the leadership of Roy Harmon and her experience. And I would say South Carolina because of Raven Johnson and her experience. Those 2 teams scare me the most in the SEC because of head coach and point guard. But I love you raising the opportunity for Oklahoma to really shake things up because they've kind of been an afterthought, right? Because Vanderbilt has stepped up and grabbed a lot of the headlines and grabbed people by the shirt collar, and they've just been chugging along. And to your point, using Beers as the fulcrum of the offense has
Mhm.
really helped them see the light, right? Because it helps them spread the floor. Chavez is getting loose and can show off all of her wiggle because she has the opportunity to either step back and hit the three or dribble drive because Beers is taking up defensive attention. So, yeah, that'll be interesting to see. I know the Big Ten might send more teams to the NCAA tournament,
Mhm.
but for my money, the SEC will send more teams through to the Sweet 16.
And listen, we say this every time we're on here together, whether I'm just on the beginning at the end with whoever
Mhm.
you're on
Yeah.
co-hosting with, but Phoenix cannot wait for it. It's coming.
I'm telling you, we are ready. We had our official launch a week ago today, and we're it is on. It is going to be absolutely fantastic. I want to make sure everybody is aware that between the games, between the semifinals and the finals, there will be a practice day for both teams competing in the champ game,
Yeah,
and it will be open to the public. Now, the
yeah,
record for attendance for this game happened in Cleveland, just under 12,000 people. This event is free. You will have access to watch the teams practice, get autographs, all of the things. And I am challenging everybody who is coming to the desert to help me shatter that record set by Cleveland. It's free, and I know we can do it. And who wouldn't want to see the final prep between the teams that are going to play for the NCAA championship?
well, um, I'm ready for it all. I'm ready to get
Right?
there. I'm coming a day early,
I
and
love
I-
that. So
I'm
you're
so
gonna come
excited.
through on the 2nd?
Yes, I will be there.
Yes. Beautiful. Yes.
Coming
If
out.
anybody needs restaurant recommendations, hit me up. Um, Hairdo Today Society Salon in Old Town Scottsdale, a Black-owned business. Pull through, they do it all. Yeah, we are ready to be the hosts with the most, and it is going to be the best women's Final Four that has ever been put on, and I say that with my whole chest because I know it to be true. I know all of the folks behind the scenes that are putting this on, and it is going to be spectacular. Just think back to how awesome the WNBA All-Star game was here in Phoenix. It's that same sort of vibe. When Phoenix gets behind something, it's like it didn't exist until we get done with it.
Well, Cindy, as always, it has been a pleasure being with you here this evening.
Right back at you, BMac. This made my day.
Well, until next time, you can follow us at Her Hoop Stats on all your social media platforms. Check us out on YouTube. Listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everywhere you get your podcasts. And tomorrow, the Gower Hour will be here holding it down and
Nice.
reviewing all of today's action and previewing the weekend full of conference tournament goodness. And
Mhm.
we will be back next week. And who knows how many times I'll be on next week. I only got one this week, but the tournaments get crazy and folks get going. So who knows
There we
where we'll
go.
be. But
Well, till
Cindy,
then, everybody just keep growing and loving women's basketball.
and there ain't no better way to end it than that. Y'all have a good day.